Hello, I'm David Hepworth, and this is my new book, or a proof of my new book, Overpaid, Oversexed and Over There. It's about British acts in the United States from 1963 to 1983. As you'll appreciate, usually when you've got a new book out, it's customary to go and talk at literary festivals or maybe in bookshops to meet readers, sign copies and so forth. As you'll appreciate, that's pretty difficult in the current situation. And so what I hope to do as a bit of a substitute is using the miracle of this platform to do a series of stories, observations, vignettes about the period covered by the book, and also offer those people who want it the opportunity to get a signed copy. More details of that later on. First, on with the show. In May of 1965, the Rolling Stones were on tour in America. They were staying at the Jack Tar Harrison Hotel in Clearwater, Florida. And Keith was woken in the middle of the night by a tune, a riff going through his head. Fortunately, he had the presence of mind to get out of bed and to record that riff into the recorder that he kept alongside his bed. And the following morning, he played it to Mick Jagger. Over the next few days, Mick Jagger came up with some words, and then they found themselves recording at the Chess Studios in Chicago, where they had previously, not long earlier, had recorded their kind of EP of R&B covers, 5 by 5, which famously contained their version of Chuck Berry's Around and Around, which was very much the kind of thing that the Rolling Stones did at that time. They were a kind of R&B covers band. That was what they were primarily about. Anyway, the version of that tune that they recorded in Chicago didn't work out. Everybody thought it was too slow, too bluesy. And so a week later, in Hollywood, California, at RCA Recorders, they had a further go. And by then, two things had changed. Charlie Watts had upped the tempo so that it was the jittery dance groove that we know and love to this day. And also, furthermore, Keith had bought a new toy. And the new toy promised to make his guitar sound like anything but a guitar. And what he wanted it to sound like mainly was a Stax horn section. So he turned the dial until it came to sounding, to his ears anyway, like the Stax horn section. And they recorded the song. They did a few goes, and within half an hour they had it recorded. Keith couldn't see that it was particularly appealing. He thought it might make an LP track. Everybody else knew that it was a single, and it was a hit. And it was a massive hit. And of course they were right, because that's what it was. I Can't Get No Satisfaction. And it went on to dominate the summer of 1965 in the United States and in Britain, which is even more remarkable when you consider just how many fantastic records, singles came out in the year 1965. That was probably, arguably, the best of all of them. So here's the interesting things about the transition that took place in that couple of weeks period. That the Rolling Stones went from being a covers group, it went from being a rhythm and blues group to being a rock and roll group. And what's more, a kind of American rock and roll group. Because Satisfaction wasn't just made in America. It wasn't just inspired by America. It felt like America. And it's extraordinary to reflect that less than 2 years before, the Rolling Stones had never set foot in the place. And now they seem to have it in their bloodstream. If you've ordered my book, either online or via your local bookshop, please get in touch with me via the email underneath this and send me your address, and I'll be happy to send you a signed, customised bookplate that you can put inside it. Thanks very much.